Hello, welcome back to the Mark Janard Show, the tech show about hacking. In this video, we're going to go over the nearly perfect phone from a cybersecurity perspective. Android, Apple, let's see this fight, okay? So without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going dark. Which cell phone is the most secure in 2023? iPhone versus Android. Most of us store all kinds of information on our phones. When you think about what data you have on your mobile phone, consider your photos, bank accounts, and even passwords. With technology advancing, hackers are advancing too. Cyber criminals are using new methods to break into cell phones to steal your data. Apple takes pride in its closed source coding, which makes it harder for hackers to penetrate. Android has open source coding, which make finding security issues easier and quicker to fix. Both systems have strengths and weaknesses, so we're going to be fair. So which phone is the most secure? Okay. Both systems have different techniques for addressing source code security. Android and iPhone use restrictions in opposite ways to keep users safe from viruses and data breaches. That's not to say that improvements couldn't be made to each cell phone system. iPhone code. Apple uses a platform that protects you with secure code execution. It uses an integrated development environment, which is the IDE, to provide you with code signing for your apps. When you use an iPhone, it may be harder for hackers to break into your device due to the closed source code installed. Apple won't release its source code to app developers, which means you can't modify your iPhone's code easily. If you can't manipulate the code, you don't get a chance to change the security settings that are in place to protect your data. That doesn't mean it's impossible to break through your coding. You can still download a malicious link if you're using something other than the App Store. Some iPhone users download apps sent through their email, which is a big no-no, or go to different websites to get them. Those aren't guaranteed to be protected by Apple, which is why it's a good idea to still use your antivirus software with your iPhone. Now let's go into the Android code. Android handles code source security exactly the opposite of how iOS does. Android relies on open source code that allows you to modify your phone's operating system. When you don't know what you're doing, you could create security vulnerabilities for your Android phone, so you better be careful. On the other hand, an open source operating system can also help improve security since community members help test for security flaws. If you decide to change your settings, and you better know what you're doing, be sure you have the best antivirus software for Android available to help keep your device secure. So Android does use an application sandbox that enforces security between apps and the Android operating system. That is part of the Linux user-based protection it uses to keep hackers from gaining entry to your data. App Store and Google Play Store security. Both devices have ways to protect your apps, thereby securing your device. As with the source code, the ecosystems work differently. They both look for harmful behavior and both have restrictions implemented in various forms. Let's look at the Apple App Store. Apple admits to millions of fraudulent attempts against the App Store every year. In 2021, Apple blocked fraudulent transactions amounting to 1.5 billion, but cybercriminals are getting more sophisticated and attempting to smuggle malicious software into the App Store. One of their techniques is to hide in the cloud among legitimate applications. Hackers are also using the public internet to find vulnerable systems to crack. To prevent hackers from gaining your personal information, Apple ensures that apps come from known sources and don't contain malware. Before it can get launched, the app is screened for malicious code. Apple also has system-level protections in place, keeping apps from accessing data from other apps without your permission. Now let's go into the Google Play Store, right? Google Play is the official app store of Google. It has safeguards in place to protect your Android phone from malware. One of the primary security functions of Google Play is you can only download known apps from the store. Google will scan for viruses before an app reaches users. One of the best built-in protection features Android uses is Google Play Protect. It uses algorithms that can adapt to new malware threats, and Play Protect gets updated routinely to shield you from new viruses. It also uses the application sandbox we mentioned to create more safety between apps. The feature keeps apps from interacting with each other, keeping your Android more secure. Still, Google Play isn't without flaws. Malware can find ways to breach the App Store security and get into your device. Since Android uses the open source coding platform, you can manually change your security settings that may leave you more vulnerable when downloading apps you may assume are safe. The Google Play Store is also attractive to hackers because of the large number of apps it contains. If a hacker can get through, that can mean malware on a high volume of Android devices, right? Now let's look at operating system updates. You'll get notifications from Android and iPhone services when updates are ready for your phone. You should install the updates as they help patch security gaps in your device. Operating system updates can also improve your phone's performance. we all know that, right?
But you didn't have to say it.
So it's crucial to take advantage of those opportunities. Now, iPhone updates. When you use an iPhone, you'll notice that the iOS updates get scheduled frequently. That means Apple looks for and patches security issues routinely. With the constant updates Apple provides, you'll get the latest features and bug fixes. Apple users should receive updates for 4 to 5 years for their iPhones, okay? Let's keep that frequency in mind. Recently, Apple directed users to update their software when it found the operating system vulnerability. The threat could have given hackers the leverage to get control of iPhones and some Mac operating systems to install malware. Although the iPhone is known for being a secure device, this goes to show that hackers are getting better and better at infiltrating cell phones. Now, let's look at the Android side of things. Android provides users with updates as Apple does. One striking difference is the Android usually sends 1 to 3 updates within 18 months. After that, you may not get any more. That could mean if a new malware comes out between those times, you may not get a patch that keeps your device secure. It may also depend on the brand of the Android you use. Different manufacturers may release updates at separate times, leading to an Android fragmentation issue. That's when Android users don't all have access to the same features. For example, Samsung phones tend to receive monthly updates, while Motorola phones usually see 100 plus days until they get an update. Now, let's look at some meat here, right? Data privacy. Data privacy is one of the largest concerns digital users have today. Most mobile phones weren't designed for data privacy and can expose you to all kinds of data risks. Our phones even have location tracking on them, and apps can gain access to our exact locations at any moment. With data privacy being a security threat, you want to know if your cell phone platform does the job of keeping your information safe, right? This is a huge issue, especially nowadays, right? iPhone privacy. Let's look at the iPhone side of things. Your iPhone comes with built-in features that help prevent outsiders from seeing your data. These privacy features can minimize what information is available to others. And you have the power to adjust what data you want to share. Apple takes data privacy seriously with security features like Face ID, Touch ID, and two-factor authentication. You can also turn your location services on or off for different apps, so you can alter them as you wish. Here, the Android privacy. Let's look at the Android side of things. Google makes a profit from advertisements. Some of those ads may stem from your data so that it can direct the ads as needed. To help with that, Google has given users authority over Android associated data sharing. You can also use two-factor authentication with your Google account. Many Android privacy features are included by default when you power on your device. It has a built-in app scanner to protect against spyware and stalkerware. Still, it's worth noting that you can give up many personal details when you browse online with your Android device. You'll need to adjust your Android privacy settings if you want to opt out of Google's personalization options. Let's look at third-party security support, right? When you use any device that takes advantage of the internet or different apps, you may want to consider a third-party security system. That could mean using antivirus software or virtual private networks, which is also known as a VPN, to create a private internet connection, right? So let's see how these two industry giants stack up when compared to third-party security support. Many iPhone security breaches happen when users pirated software or decided to jailbreak their phone's settings. Apple is known to be a secure platform, but a third-party security suite could enhance that safety. Apple lets you use various third-party apps, but you may not need to use many. Since the iPhone is already extremely diligent about security, you may only benefit from using two security apps. One is a VPN to protect you when using public Wi-Fi, and the other is a password manager to boost online security. Best password managers for the iOS. While Apple's iCloud keychain is a good starting point, many iPhone password managers come with extras that make creating, saving, and sharing passwords easier. Number one, 1Password. This password manager comes stacked with unique features like travel mode, which allows you to hide certain passwords on your device in case it gets stolen or misplaced while you're on vacation. It also supports password sharing and works with Safari. Next, we have Dashlane. If you only need a password manager for one iPhone, Dashlane is a great choice. It comes with extra customizations to help you create truly unique and uncrackable passwords. Dashlane is also compatible with Safari. Bitwarden is the next, right? While it is a free plan with few limitations, we also like the Bitwarden for its ability to organize family members or coworkers into groups. This allows you to pick and choose who you share which passwords with, an extra level of customization that sets Bitwarden apart. So these are the considered best VPNs for the iOS. We have the NordVPN, ExpressVPN, and then we have Surfshark. Some of the better password managers for Android, we have Dashlane, then we have 1Password, and lastly Bitwarden. And just like some of the VPNs for Apple, the VPNs that are considered very good for Android is we have the NordVPN, as we just talked about. Next, we have the IPVanish. Now, always download the latest operating system update. Those are there for your protection and may contain patches you need. Number 2, implement a VPN for a safe internet experience, especially when using public Wi-Fi, which we love to do. Number 3, use password managers that will create strong combinations for login. Number 4, if you get a text message from someone you don't know, it's likely a scam. Block the number and don't respond. Bottom line, we think both. The iPhone and Android, they've done amazing jobs when creating a secure platform. When it comes to the best security though, I believe a little bit that iPhone wins this round because of the closed source code. However, hey, anything can happen. When it's harder to download malicious apps, it creates more security for you, the user. So what do you think about this? Do you think I got it wrong? Do you think I got it right? Please let me know in the comment section below. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell. I love you. Stay safe. See you on the next video.